What city in Kazakhstan has the longest pedestrian street in the world? What sights can be seen while walking along it? What is the difference between buildings of 3 different centuries? You can find all the answers in the new episode of Welcome to Kazakhstan Project. Not every city in the world has its own pedestrian street, but where these avenues are available, they are very popular. Do you know that the longest pedestrian street is located in Kazakhstan? You don't believe it? Let's check this out together. This is Welcome to Kazakhstan Project. My name is Zakirjan Mavlutov. Let's broaden our horizons. According to the Guinness Book of Records, today the longest pedestrian street in the world is Storge, located in the Danish capital Copenhagen. Its length is 1800 meters. And this is an omission of the authors of the book, because Storge is 200 meters shorter than the 2-kilometer street of the Constitution of Kazakhstan, which is located in Petropavl, the northern gates of the country. Hotelier and restaurateur Sayran Hamzin talks about what the Constitution Avenue means for the development of the city.
Я работаю в сфере гостеприимства.
I work in the hospitality industry and we get a lot of guests. And when they are interested in where to go, what to see in Petropavl, we first of all recommend the Constitution of Kazakhstan Street. In addition, many other attractions. Often guests say, the Constitution Street is great, it's awesome, I really liked it, and it's very important to improve this street. We can review every block, add some highlights. For instance, we can arrange a block for artists, a block for musicians, a block for some products selling, and so on, so that even guests passing by and the townspeople themselves who will come, so that they will be satisfied. We have studied the longest pedestrian streets. We learned that in Denmark, in the city of Copenhagen, there is a street 1,800 meters long. Our street is longer. So we have submitted an application to the Guinness Book of Records. Why not? This will add some international popularity to our small, beautiful city, and there will be much more recognition. This street did not become pedestrian right away. In the 19th century, it was known as the Ascension Avenue because it led to the Ascension Cathedral. Until the beginning of the 20th century, it was a so-so pleasure to go this route. Mud, lack of pavement, sewage waters. At the same time, merchant shops were located on the street, and visitors had to conquer the Ascension Avenue walking along flimsy wooden sidewalks.
Сам проспект берет свое начало в исторической части города.
The avenue itself originates in the historical part of the city. Once upon a time, the Ascension Cathedral was situated here. In 1970, the construction of the Temple of Culture, the Russian drama theater named after Nikolai Pagodin, began. The further history of the street is connected with the construction of this building. In times of Soviet authority, the Ascension Avenue, like almost any central street in the cities of the USSR, was renamed in honor of Lenin. The avenue was asphalted and a shuttle bus began to run along it. And in 1970, the first secretary of the regional party committee, Vasily Demidenko, made a fateful decision for the whole city. He proposed to make the street leading to the new drama theater pedestrian. I must say that Demidenko himself lived on the street, loved to walk here, appreciated the views, and his initiative pleased all the townspeople.
сути, эта часть улицы самая спокойная, кроме нескольких зданий.
In 1999, the street was renamed according to the time. The country gained independence. The figure of the world proletariat leader lost its significance. Now the street of the Constitution of Kazakhstan began to run through the heart of Petropavl. Since then, it has been paved with stones, ennobled with small architectural forms, benches that are so pleasant to relax on in the shade of the trees. In 1999, the street was renamed according to the time. The country gained independence. The figure of the world proletariat leader lost its significance. Now the street of the Constitution of Kazakhstan began to run through the heart of Petropavl. Since then, it has been paved with stones, ennobled with small architectural forms, benches that are so pleasant to relax on in the shade of the trees. Now we are at the town square. It is located between the Maslihat and the Akimat of the city of Petropavl. As a rule, it is here that all major sporting events and concerts are held. In winter, there is a Christmas tree and an ice town. At the turn of the 19th and 20th centuries, Petropavl was an important trading point on the world map. At the crossroads from Europe to Asia, a powerful merchant class was formed. And until now, there are buildings on the Constitution of Kazakhstan Street, the appearance of which refers to that time. For example, the former manufacturing shop of merchant Cheremisinov. It was built in 1895. And before the revolution, even the products of the world-famous Singer company could be purchased here. Cheremisinov himself enjoyed such respect that for some period he held the post of the head of the city. This building was founded in 1916. The Siberian Trade Bank and a hotel were located here. By the way, in the same place until 1912 there was another building, Blumenthal's stationery store. The Tatar merchants Yangurazov, Muhammedyarov, Shamsuddinov made a special contribution to the appearance of Petropavl. We have already talked about their trading houses in one of the episodes of Welcome to Kazakhstan. They fit perfectly into the architectural ensemble of the Constitution of Kazakhstan Street. And of course, the buildings that the townspeople will remember first of all when it comes to the pedestrian avenue are the store of merchant Strelov and the house of merchant Arkel. Today, within their walls, there is an exposition of the North Kazakhstan Regional Museum of History and Local Law. Dosbol Abdriisov told us in more detail about the cultural life on the longest pedestrian street in the world. Dosbol, what interesting creative things does your team do on the longest street in the world? Well, Zakirjan, firstly, it is worth noting the fact that throughout this street there are already 4 objects that relate to us, to our subordinate organization. These are Pogodin Drama Theater, Gabit Musrepov Children and Youth Library, Sabit Mukhanov Scientific Universal Library, and of course, Local History Museum.
Имени Габита Мусрепова, научного универсальная библиотека имени Сабита Муканова и наш, конечно же, историко-краеведческий музей.
One of the oldest in the city, even in the Republic. That's true, but even the architecture speaks for itself. Here you don't even need to quote or say anything, it is in principle its appearance. The architecture speaks about it. But this is what our task is, to, let's say, we want to make our main Arbat, our main pedestrian street, alive. In principle, today, I think, we are coping well with our goals.
В принципе, на сегодняшний день с поставленными целями я считаю, что мы справляемся неплохо.
Every year, the street becomes more beautiful, new locations open up. A unique place that recently enriched the pedestrian avenue is the Kazakhstan Art Center. This is an open-air craftsman alley, a place of attraction for all creative personalities of our city. It is here that fairs, exhibitions, festivals are held. If you plan to visit Petropavl from the end of spring to late autumn, don't forget to stop by this place. You are sure to find something interesting for yourself. Marat Narimanullah Shahmuratov devoted more than 40 years of his life to music, and today he introduces ancient art to the guests of the art center. What do you have here? I have varieties of Kazakh folk instruments here. They are mostly made from red clay. Thanks to Professor Saribayev, who during the excavations of Atarar discovered more than 40, about 50 Kazakh folk instruments.
Атрара обнаружил где-то больше 40, около 50 казахов.
Are these musical instruments? Yes, yes. It turns out that our ancestors played them. Yes, absolutely correct. What does this one sound like? Can you demonstrate? Of course. This street has always been the center of city life. It is where the Park of Culture and Leisure is located, which every citizen of Petropavl has pleasant memories with. The city garden was founded on this site in 1860, which makes Petropavl Park one of the oldest in the country. Even in the 19th century, numerous lanes and pathways in the shades of trees served as a favorite place for walking. Already in the 20th century, amusement attractions appeared next to green places. Today, everyone can choose for himself what to do: ride a carousel or take a leisurely walk among the trees. The Petropavl Amusement Park has been recognized as the best in international competitions more than once. Among achievements, there is a prestigious award Crystal Wheel in the category for cities with population up to 250,000 people, as well as the Golden Pony Prize. The park's director, Alexander Kozlov, conducted a tour of the amusement park for us.
Ежегодно через
How many visitors pass through the main central park every year? We have about 800 to 1,000 people on a summer day, on a typical weekday. And on weekends, from 1,500 to 2,000 visitors come to us. That is, in a year we can say that it is several hundred thousands. For small Petropavl, this is our city, Petropavl. In small towns, you need to make sure that a person comes to you 2 or 3 times in a season. This is our main task, because we still have very small population, even for our city, and working months are very short. 50-60 years ago, were there any rides here too? In the 60s, the Ferris wheel attraction was installed and a park was created around it. It was then popular to create parks in every city, in every camp. There were standard sets of attractions and they were supplied everywhere. And we had such a standard Soviet park, Park of the Soviet Union. And now the park is one of the best in the CIS. And now it is one of the best. Yes, indeed it is. Because we can't compare it with big cities. In Petropavl, there is such a life hack. If you don't know what to do in spare time, go to the Constitution of Kazakhstan Street. Here you will definitely meet someone from your friends and have an interesting time. Come and take a walk along the longest pedestrian street in the world. And we promise you that this walk will not disappoint you at all. Welcome to Kazakhstan.